All right, so this is our very first session. If you have gone to class on Thursday or Friday, you already heard all this information. But if you missed class on either of those days, this is what we talked about. All right, these are the basic procedures of this class. Now, some things, right? When you log in, you're going to log in through Schoology every single time. We're not having you log in some other way. Schoology's not working. You're not getting into the Zoom session. You got to be there before a class starts. You have to be in the waiting room waiting for me to let you in. You know, if you're not there by the time class starts, you'll get in when there's a natural break in the lessons. Your video is going to have to be on this year, and your face is going to have to be visible the whole time. All right, and that's going to happen until I dismiss you. You're not going to be able to be on another phone or a smartwatch. You're not going to need calculators. I wrote every lesson. I make them come out nicely. You don't get weird answers unless I'm intending for that to happen that day, which is rare. And you won't be on any electronic device or anything that will distract you during class. I should see you working the whole time. You won't be having lunch or any other food while we are having class. You can drink water. That's perfectly okay. You should have paper and pencil and erasers ready to go when you enter the Zoom session. All right, your first thing you're going to do is put the number and title of the lesson across the top of your page. All right, and then you're going to put your name, period, and date in the upper right-hand corner. Don't do those things. When you try to go submit things, you're going to get so confused. There are a lot of lessons in this class. You're going to be muted most of the time, all right? But then during class, I am going to unmute people and call on them, and I expect you to respond. If you need to ask me a question, you're going to hit the raise the hand button, and then I'll answer questions when it is appropriate. Okay. You're going to do 2 full lessons via Zoom each week. We should have enough time that we do that and you get the homework for that lesson done all in that session. Okay, that's what should happen 2 days a week. Then you're going to have 1 and probably 2 more lessons that you have to do independently, right? Because normally you have 5 lessons in a week, right? And if we only do 2 lessons out of 5, you're going to get less than half of the course done over the year. And you might be okay with it, except you're not going to be okay with it when you go to high school and you don't know anything. So we have to do independent lessons to cover all the material. Now, they're going to be just like the Zoom sessions. You're going to get a video. You're going to look at the video, right? The class sessions will take about 50 minutes. The videos are about 20 minutes long. Why? Because they don't have all the time where I'm sitting there talking to you and not wasting time, but waiting for you to finish the problem, right? I just do the problems. But you'll watch the videos, you'll pause them, and you'll do the problems, then you'll check your work because all the answers are there, right? If you try to just watch those videos like you're watching, a movie and copying things down, you won't learn anything, right? You got to do problems and check whether you've got them right. There is no other way to learn math. All right, and there will be online tests that are timed. You will get 1 shot at taking them, so you're going to have to study for your tests, and you're going to which we will review. We have a whole session of review before each test, but you're not going to take them over and over again. I know some teachers did that last year. We're having real grades, real lessons, real attendance, no fooling around this year. All right, so something that's very different about this class than most others. I am going to be grading your classwork. So that work you're doing on Zoom, while we're on Zoom writing down, you're going to take a picture of it and send it to me. And I'm going to evaluate it for did you complete it and is it right? And I'm going to do that for the classwork on Zoom and the classwork on your independent lessons and the homework. So you're going to submit 2 things every single time. That's worth 10 total points. Now, you're going to take 1 or 2 photographs of your work. We do not want you to submit a whole bunch of papers or pictures of different papers. If you have more than 1 or 2 papers, you just put them all on a table and take a picture of all 4. Yes, you can take a picture of all 4 or all 3 pieces of paper that you have and then submit them as one picture in one submission. If you wrote on the back, then you could have 2 pictures. But I don't want any more than 2 pictures per assignment. You have to group them together and you have to figure out how to do that. It's actually very easy on an iPhone. Other ways, I'm an iPhone person, so I don't really know Android that well, but you scan them together and you submit them together. Okay? You are not allowed to email me your work. It has to be through Schoology. That's not my rule. That's a rule. All right? Now, the assignments are due before you arrive in the next Zoom session. There'll be 2 due right before each Zoom session. One you'll have learned in Zoom, one you'll have done on your own, but they're both due before the next Zoom session because you have to be prepared for that session. I will accept it after that time, but it will be 20% off. All right, that's an 80%, 8 out of 10, which doesn't sound so bad, except 8 out of 10 is the lowest B, right? That's 80%, 79% is a C. So if you want an A or a B, you can't be handing in your work late all the time. All right. The secret to this class is get 9s and 10s on those assignments. Then when we get to the test, and you're going to have a test at the end of every unit, at the end of every week, at the end of every unit, and you'll see where they come because I put the assignments in there, and you will take it online, and it will be timed, and it will count, and you will only get 1 shot, and it'll be worth 100 points. But if you're getting 9s and 10s every day, if you bomb a test or 2, you can still get a decent grade. Right? There's a lot of points each semester. Okay, so if you go to the Schoology's material page, you should see this. So this blue folder has a printout of every lesson. That's what I used to supply to my absent students. You can see the lessons ahead of time. You can print that out and work on it while we do the lessons, but you have to have a printer to do that. Do you need a printer to do this class? No, but there is a place where a printer could be a little bit of advantage. But if you do that, you'll end up with more pieces of paper and you'll have more complicated picture taking because in each lesson there are a lot of screens. But you take a look at those, that's what the lessons look like. All right, so if you miss a Zoom session or struggling anyway, look at those printouts. They have some of them solved already, but it has the entire lesson there. Then in the red folder are the videos. I've made a video. I'm going to make a video of every single lesson. The ones that we do in Zoom. So if you miss the Zoom, there's a video of it. No big deal. Or the independent lessons, there's the video of it. Right? It's a video of us doing what you see in blue. Okay? And then you'll get your homework assignments from the purple folder. And you can print them out and work on them if you really want to do that. Or you just look at them on the screen and you write down the problem and your work and the answer. You submit a piece of paper with a bunch of number answers on it. You're not getting any points for that. I got to see the problem and the work and then the answer. All of that. And then we're going to have tests, which are called assessments in Schoology. And they will be there. All right, so supplies you need. You need 150 sheets of white line paper at least this year. If you write really big and use lots of paper, 1, you're going to need to buy more paper, and 2, you're going to have more pieces of paper in your one picture. Okay, so there is an advantage to writing reasonably sized this year. You're going to go through like 10 pencils this year, and you should have a sharpener and an eraser. You can have mechanical pencils, but no pen. I see that it's pen on the submission. I'm taking points off. Yes, because math is supposed to be done in pencil. It is not a copying exercise. It is doing problems, and if you're doing problems, you're going to get some wrong, and you're going to need to fix them. And that means you need pencil. And then we're going to be graphing. So when we're graphing, you're going to need to draw straight lines. We do a lot of linear graphs, line graphs. And then you'll need a ruler or something to draw a straight edge. You will need a folder because you're going to have all these papers that you create at home. Normally, I'd give you a folder at school, but you're going to have to go get your own file folder, a real one. And after you've submitted it online through Schoology, you're going to staple your work with your numbers on it and put it in numbered order in your folder. So that, because you know what happens with Schoology. Sometimes you think you submitted something and then you can't find it. I highly recommend when you do your submission of your pictures, you write a number on it. You write, if it's less than 2.3, you write 2.3 on the picture so that if it doesn't upload to Schoology, you know where it is. Right? Last year, if you get the circle of death in Schoology and then hope it goes through, it never goes through, is my experience. So, you may have to resubmit things. All right? If you don't see a grade appearing in Schoology the next day, within 24 hours, I am almost always grading things within 24 hours. So if you don't see a grade in there, that means it didn't go through. Okay? All right, so your first homework assignment is 2 parts. To do this, we all hopefully can do a times table, and then make sure you know how to submit it in Schoology. You're going to take a picture of this, and you're going to take a picture of the procedures you copy down, hopefully one picture, and you're going to submit it through Schoology, and then on Monday we'll see who's having problems. Now if you print this out and do the times table, it's 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 4 is 8. It goes like this, and notice there's duplicates there. All right, now, so there's no one times table. Now, if some of you are not going to have a printer, that's going to happen all year. It's usually not that big a deal. Today, you can do, don't do a 1 times table. So you just take a piece of paper and go 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 4 is 8, like that. And then you can do a 3 times table, 3 times 2. Don't do a 1 times table, it's a waste of time. 3 times 3 is 9, and so on. And then you do 4s, and then you go all the way up to 15s. Yeah, you have a little more writing, okay? But that's what I want, and you do that on 1 or 2 pieces of paper and submit it, and you get your first 10 points.